Drake goes 0 to 100 real quick. Pakistan's economy has gone from 100 to 0 real quick. In the last month, the price of petrol has gone up and the dollar has also become more expensive. None of these are good for a cash economy, which Pakistan is. This situation is particularly unprecedented because of its target audience. It's going right after the poor. In the past, the middle class and the upper class was able to soak up this economic pressure. When the price of petrol in Pakistan goes up, everything goes up along with it. Ditto with the dollar. The moment the dollar fluctuates, you're going to see that fluctuation in prices. Now, with lower income people, if the price of petrol goes up, they have less disposable income, and if the dollar goes up, their buying power decreases. Now, both of these pressures happening at the same time is not good, especially if you already didn't have any money. In the past, Pakistan's economy was immune to global recessions because it was a cash economy and because the lower income had cash to spend. Now they have been squeezed out of the economy. They're being priced out. The 10-20 rupees that they could spend, that they had disposable income, it's not doing anything at all for them. They're not gaining anything out of it. Chai now starts at 100 rupees. So what they could get at 20 rupees yesterday is now suddenly 100 rupees, and they don't have that money to spend. While the poor are being phased out, the rich are moving out, and the middle class is stuck between both of these, where they're kind of being phased out on one side, and if they can't afford to, they're moving out on the other as soon as they can. This situation is particularly jarring from an outsider's perspective, my perspective, just because it seems like there's no future plan. China, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, these places have 10, 20, 30-year visions, economic visions of where they're going to be and growth plans. Over here, we're running day to day, and there still doesn't seem to be even a band-aid makeup plan for how we can get by right now. There's no press conferences, there's no public discussion, there's no plan, there's no vision. It just seems like a head-in-the-sand policy. Bismillah, let's just see what happens. It's also jarring because I'm living here, so I see these changes and these consequences overnight. You see the price changes go up, you see the people at the pump, you see them also reaching for less money at the thing. You'll see in the supermarket, every time I go now, you will see the person next to you or even me being like, okay, no, not these two items, I don't have that budget. So these changes that are happening on a macro level, I'm seeing on a micro level every day instantly. This is also jarring to me on a personal level because I grew up in Dubai, which saw rapid growth as a city and an economy. I lived in Dublin, which saw fast and steady growth during the Celtic Tiger. And in Toronto, we again saw a hybrid of it initially was really fast and now it's like rapid growth. You saw big buildings all over the place. First it was 1-2 condos and now it's just on every block. So I'm used to seeing places develop and grow and keep going, and this is the exact opposite. I'm used to that Drake 0 to 100, and that brings its own problems. 0 to 100 brings its own economic problems, but the problems you get from 100 to a 0 are far more severe, far more long-term lasting, and far more consequential. Now for the good news, maybe some great news. Let's smile a little bit. Countries, cities, places have come back from these kinds of conditions and even worse. Japan, power to them, after being nuked, look at where they are today, mashallah. Greece in 2008, austerity measures, euro. Today they are back to being a tourist spot, a global spot, a place you want to visit, and why not? Sun, sand, the beach, and the people too. Medellin, Colombia, the home of Pablo Esco, is today a thriving city with a fashion scene, a movie scene, and just everything. Apparently it's amazing there. So there is hope, there is a chance to come back. There's always a chance to come back. To come back though, the first step is acceptance. You have to admit that there is a masla, a problem, some issue that needs to be resolved. The second step is to analyze and plan out what has gone wrong, what can go right, where you are today, where you want to be, SWOT analysis, models, frameworks. There's all sorts of analytic tools to figure out what to do, where to go, what to be. Step 3 is the most important. It's also the hardest and most fulfilling, and that is to just do it. Nike Shia LaBeouf styles.